Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to see how to animate launch screen. As we all know, you cannot animate the launch screen, so this is basically a workaround for this. If you guys enjoy the video, then press the like button and subscribe to my channel. This is the best possible way to support me. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I have my project set up already and I have my launch screen storyboard opened up, and let's go ahead and add our image view inside our launch screen. And on the right in our inspector, let's add our logo. And now let's add some constraints. So we are going to add width of 150, and also we are going to add the aspect ratio constraint as well. Also, let's make the logo centered horizontally and vertically, and then in our aspect ratio, edit the ratio to 1:1. There we go. Now I'm going to add 2 more images and repeat the process, and you guys can follow along. Now, in order to make this image go all the way outside the bounds of the main view, which is a super view, we need to make changes to our leading and bottom constraint. So let's first change the leading constraint, and where it says safe area.leading, change that to superview.leading, and then do the same process for the bottom constraint. And now to push it outside the bounds, all you need to do is add a -half value of the width of the circle, and then repeat the same process again. Okay, now that our launch screen is ready, it's time to animate it. So let's go to our content view, and inside our content view, let's add a state variable. So we're going to say add state private var animate, which is going to be a bool, and let's make it equals false. And let's get rid of our text. And inside our body, let's add a Z stack, and then inside our Z stack, let's add another Z stack. And then inside that, let's add an image of logo, and then let's make it resizable. After that, let's give it a frame of width 150 and a height of 150 as well. And then after our Z stack, let's add a V stack, then an H stack, and then let's add a spacer. And then after spacer, let's add our circle image. Let's make this also resizable, and then width and height of 300. And then after that, let's add a offset. And then for the X, let's do 150, and for the Y, let's do minus 150. Now let's run the app and let's see how it looks. And as you can see, we have our circle on the right. And then after that, inside our V stack, right after our S stack, let's add a spacer. And then let's copy our S stack and paste it again for the bottom circle. And let's remove the spacer from the top and bring it after the image. And everything else is gonna be the same, but instead of 300, let's make it 400. And let's change the offset from minus 150 to X of minus 150 and Y plus 150. And now let's run the app. And let's go ahead and fold our V stack, and after the V stack, let's add another Z stack, and this time it's gonna have an alignment of bottom. And inside our Z stack, let's add a V stack, and it's gonna have an alignment of bleeding and then a spacing of 20. Inside our V stack, let's add a text, and let's say welcome, and it's gonna have a font of title, and then font weight of semi-bold, and then padding of top 20. After that, let's add another text, and this time I'm just gonna copy the lorem ipsum, and paste it in here. After the text, let's add a H stack, and then inside our H stack we need two buttons, so we are going to say button action. Let's leave it as it is. And then inside our label we are going to add a text, and it's gonna say sign in. And then after that, let's add a padding of 20. And foreground color is gonna be white, then background color is gonna be black. After that, let's add a clip shape of capsule. And now let's go ahead and copy the button and paste it again. And then where it says sign in, let's change it to sign up, and change the foreground color to black and the background to white. Okay, now let's run the app and let's see how it looks. And as you can see, it is overlapping because it's in a Z stack. And then let's add a spacer. Let's add a frame and let's make the max width to .infinity. And then let's add a padding .horizontal and it's gonna be 20. And then after that, let's add a background color of yellow. And now let's add a frame and give it a height of 300. This is for the Z stack, which is going to be at the bottom. And now let's run the app. And I think I have messed up somewhere. Let me check. Let's get rid of this frame and paste it over here. Okay, now it looks good. And now let's run the app. And there you go. As you can see, the Z stack height is now 300. Okay, now let's go ahead and create another struct for our custom shape. And in my previous video, I've already shown you guys how to create this custom shape. So I linked that video on the top right corner, and you guys can, after this video, you guys can go ahead and check that out as well if you want. Okay, now that we have created our struct for a custom shape, and then let's go ahead after the background color. Let's add a clip shape, and inside our clip shape we are going to add the custom shape, and then it's going to give us 3 parameters. So for the left corner we are going to do .top left, and for the right corner we are going to do .top right, and for the radii we are going to do 16, and after that we are going to add a offset, and the y is going to be UI screen.main.bounce.height. So it's going to be at the bottom hidden, and the goal is to show it after the animation ends. Okay, so now it's time to animate our views, but first let's add a frame and then give it a max width of infinity. Also, after that, let's add an edges ignore safe area and add all, and then after that let's add on appear. Inside our on appear, we are going to use the dispatch queue.async after. And inside our deadline, we are going to say .now plus 0.25. And inside our dispatch queue, let's add with animation. And inside the with animation parameters, let's add animation dot ease out, and after that let's add the duration of 0.45. and then inside our with animation we'll do animate dot toggle. And now it's time to update our views. So firstly, let's fold this VStack and let's add a geometry reader. I will tell you why in a sec. So we'll do G in and cut this VStack and put it inside this geometry reader. And then inside our offset, we are going to say animate question mark. We're basically saying if animate is true, then we are going to have g.size.height. Otherwise, it's gonna be UI screen.main.bounce.height. And now let's run the app and see how it looks. So after the animation, the welcome screen is gonna pop up from the bottom. So basically what is happening is the geometry reader is getting the height of the parent, and we are putting that height, that value which is 300, inside our offset. And we are saying when the animate variable is false, it is going to be hidden and it's going to be at the end of the height of the screen of the bounds. And when the animate is true, it's gonna come upwards to 300, which is the height of the Z stack. So I hope that makes sense. But anyways, let's continue onwards and let's animate our circles. So let's open up our folded VStack, and inside our image circle, where there is the offset, inside our X we are going to say if animate is true, then it's going to be -500, otherwise it's going to be -150. And then let's do the same for the Y. We're going to say animate if it is true, then it's going to be +500, otherwise +150. And now let's run the app and let's see how it looks. So after the splash screen, it should animate, and it goes outside the bounds, and the welcome screen comes from the bottom to the top. And now let's do the same for the second circle. And also I want the logo to go a little bit to the top, so we are going to add a property of offset. And for the Y, we are going to say if animate is true, then go -100, otherwise it stays 0. And now let's run the app and let's see how it looks. And there you go, look how clean this animation looks. And let me show you again. Let's terminate our app and let's rerun the app again. And there you go, look how awesome it looks. And now you can add any kind of creativity that you guys can think of. The limitations are endless. You can do whatever you want, however you want the animation to look like. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you guys think that my content is helpful, then support me on Patreon. The link is in the description below. Take care and hope to see you guys in the next one.